Hi, I'm Adrian from Bespoke, and today I'm going to quickly show you the new Power Apps Maker experience announced at Microsoft Build 2022, where you can upload an image of an app, say from a mock-up on a PowerPoint slide, or even a drawing on a whiteboard or piece of paper, and in a few steps, Power Apps will convert it into a functioning app for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is head over to make.powerapps.com and choose the right environment where we want to play with this new functionality. Then on this Home tab here, I'm going to move down to Image, which is marked up as a preview feature. Clicking into here, the first thing we see is a splash screen, which gives us some guidance in terms of best practices of using this new feature. So for example, we want to be using forms with a light background color. We want to be using clearly legible forms, not too much busyness going on, and ideally one page rather than multi-page forms. If I click next, I've then got a series of steps I'm going to walk through to create this first app and optionally the data model behind it as well. For this first run through, I'm just going to use one of the sample images that Microsoft already provide. So I'm going to give my app a new name and I'm going to call it AC for my initials Event Survey. I'm going to take a sample image that they provide, and there's a number of different variants here that you can have a play with. I'm just going to select this event survey to get us going. Clicking on next, what this does is it takes the image and it tags it up for us. It's using AI to look for all the different text labels, the different controls like text inputs, radio buttons, submit buttons and so on the form. And you can interact with this as well as much as you want to. So you can click in and change different components to be different types. You can lasso additional features if you want to and include those within your app. Once you're happy with all of that, you click through and you're given two options. Firstly, you can create a Dataverse table to hold the data, or if maybe you're a bit more of an experienced Power Apps developer, you might want to skip that step and come back later to wire it all up with your data model behind the scenes. For now, I'm just going to use this first option here. And clicking next, it brings up one of the final screens where we get to look at the different columns or different fields it's going to create for us in our Dataverse table. So you can see here it's got our full name. It's then got something about the control where we rate the sessions, the favorite session and the feedback. And you can see this being played back to you here as well. On to the final step. It's just going to get final confirmation of the table and the different field names and display names that it's going to create for you. Clicking create, Power Apps is going to go off now and it's going to create for us our app and our data model behind the scenes to save the data when we interact with the app. Once the app and the data model have been created, it loads it up into the Maker Studio so that we can interact and do any fine tuning that we want to. And there we have it. From that initial image, we've now got our app, it's created it, it's built the form for us, the first screen, the different fields ready to go, and we can actually play this app straight away. Once we've submitted the data, just to prove that's all been working, we can actually go into Power Apps, look at our tables. We'll have a list of tables here, so it's created this AC Event Survey table for me. And actually, if I click into this, I can use the Dataverse preview to actually see that data that I just typed in. In my next little demo, what I'm actually going to do is start off with a little diagram, a little app mock-up that I've got just on a bit of paper. And what I've done is I've drawn this out just with a Sharpie, taken a picture of it, saved that into my OneDrive, and I'm going to use that image to build my app. So again, just starting off again, making sure that we're in Power Apps at make.powerapps.com. We're in the environment we're happy to play with, and I'm going to come into the image preview option once again and click through. This time I'm going to call it my merchandise order. And I'm just going to upload my own image. You see a few little examples here. I've even played around on a bit of a napkin, designing a little app there. I'm going to select my merchandise order, just a little picture of it that I've taken, and open that up. Click through the options that we went through before. And again, what this is going to do is take my little sketch of what I did, and it's worked out that some of these things are text labels. That one, maybe it's got a little bit wrong. I want that to be a button, and it hasn't quite detected my field controls here. So I'm going to use the tagging option to do that. I'm going to draw a little box there, and we're going to say that that's going to be a text input. This one is maybe a combo box, a little drop down, and this one here, apologies for the artwork, that's going to be a toggle. And actually I want to switch that one, and I want that to be a button. So once I've tagged it up there, again you can see the color coding here. So I've got various different text labels, text input, different types of control there, and I can click next. For this one, because it's a little bit rough and ready, I'm going to skip creating the Dataverse table, but it will do that again just like in the previous demo if we wanted to, and I'm going to create. And again, what this is going to do is it's already run that AI logic to work out what sort of fields, what sort of controls are on there. I've supplemented that a little bit with some additional tagging, and now it's going to build that first form on the Canvas app for me so we can see what it looks like. It's probably going to need a little bit of fine tuning. My design wasn't particularly sophisticated on my piece of paper, but you can see here just from that little quick sketch using a piece of paper and a Sharpie, I've now got my first app being built out within Power Apps.